Hi everybody, welcome to the virtual production capital of the world, ABQ Castle Studios in sunny Albuquerque in the land of enchantment, New Mexico. I'm Tim Pfeiffer, the owner, and I'm going to show you a few things that maybe you haven't seen before, but maybe will convince you that this is the time to take that hour flight from Burbank, hour flight from LAX into ABQ Castle Studios, because we're going to show you how you can save massive amounts of money with sets that would be millions of dollars or more that you're not going to be paying that money for. It's a studio that's so technologically advanced that not only can you film in what appears to be any location in the universe, but we can even do live motion tracking. So if you want that actor to be an alien or to have 20-foot arms, you can do it. It's a stage that's the largest of its kind in the virtual production industry in the world. It's so large, there's room for a full basketball court, as we'll demonstrate. And finally, here's a key point to keep in mind as you peruse the rest of the studio. The state of New Mexico is going to pay you to film here. 30% of your New Mexico spend if it's for television, and 25% if it's for movies. So let's take a look around, and you're going to see everything we have to offer, including incredible dining areas, tons of parking, and other niceties that will make it a real pleasure to film here. Now, check this out. I'm going to show you the first of our several dining areas that are just so nice. The weather is almost always fantastic here in New Mexico. So take a look here, a nice covered patio. Great place to have your lunch, have your some of your cast and crew enjoying themselves with their lunch or drinking a cup of coffee. While you're out here drinking a cup of coffee, think of one other thing. I mentioned about the film incentives in New Mexico. The reason why the New Mexico film incentives, 25 or 30% of the production, are actually better than the other states is that New Mexico is going to write you a check for that amount. Unlike some other states where you get just a pure tax credit, you then have to take that tax credit in those other states, find a broker that's willing to sell your tax credit. They aren't going to take you as a client unless your credit is quite high, in other words, a bigger budget production. But they're going to keep a percentage of that. If they decide to take you on as a client, that broker is going to keep his percentage. And then the person who buys that he's going to sell that to, they're going to want their cut. So even if you can actually end up getting that incentive, it's going to be for considerably less than the amount. Unlike New Mexico, where they're just going to write you a check. Better way to do business. Let's take a look at the parking. Now, we have tons of parking at ABQ Castle Studios. This parking lot here is beautiful. Lots of spaces for sure, but also you'll see a roll-up door over here. This allows easy access for cars to drive on the stage. And in fact, when we get onto the stage in a few minutes, you're going to see there's enough room on the stage then, after that car is on the stage, for it to come driving into the scene. And then there's enough room for it to go driving out the other side, so easy access for cars. Now here's our other big, beautiful parking lot. It even has bicycle parking and motorcycle parking. But before we even get too deeply into this parking lot, keep in mind we're located on a quiet cul-de-sac, and between our two parking lots and our quiet cul-de-sac, there's probably room for 200 cars or more. Now in this section of the parking lot, you'll see there's room for really an unlimited number of cars because there aren't particular lines painted in or anything else. Gives me a good time to tell you about our loading dock. If you are loading in big sets, if you're loading in big equipment or lighting or whatever, easy access through our loading dock. But here's our real pride and joy. If you have talent or maybe a producer or a director that you're looking to give the star treatment to, well, we have the biggest and the most luxurious talent wagon or motorhome that we're going to take a look at right now. All right, here's that beautiful motorhome. Let's start off by watching a little TV. We'll send it up on the elevator. Now that reminds me, we have separate internet out here. So a wonderful communication system out here, including a live feed to the stage. So if a director is out here, an actor is out here, wants to keep track of what's being filmed, you can do it right from the comfort and luxury of this motorhome. Let me show you some more. Now, a few notes about this motorhome. It really is high-end. Your star talent is going to be very happy that you're treating him or her this way, because the furniture is beautiful leather, beautiful quartz countertops, restaurant-style dinette, very plush and high-end. The floors are super high-end tiles, and they're heated, so your talent can keep comfortable with nice toasty feet as they get ready to move on stage. We've got dishwasher here, beautiful full-size refrigerator here, a half bathroom over here. So actually has a total of a bath and a half. You can also separate the front from the back. So if the talent is in here getting his makeup on, his colleagues may be up front watching TV. Speaking of TVs, another big TV here, of course, a king-size bed, washer and dryer if some wardrobe needs to be cleaned, full-size beautiful shower, double sinks, and everything just extraordinarily high-end. All right, come on in. Let me show you our beautiful place. Start off in the reception area, and as you'll see, just tons of places for people to assemble. Might want to have somebody here directing traffic. To the left, you go to the conference room, straight through to the stage. Oh, dining areas over here, and so on. So a great place and a wonderful start, a wonderful welcome to people coming in to film here at ABQ Castle Studios. Let me show you the conference room. Very proud of this conference room. I think it's just stunning. It's got 8 chairs, but a wonderful place for writers to meet, producers to meet, actors do a table read. It's a beautiful room, and all the glass and really high quality stuff. I just think it's spectacular. All right, lots of other nice rooms, spare production office here. By the way, all this stuff, beautiful furniture, beautiful artwork, beautiful knickknacks. Come down here, we've got bathrooms all over the place, including televisions in the mirrors. We will set that up with a live feed so the director can see the production. So beautiful place all around. What I'm about to show you is an amazing space for a couple of reasons. First of all, it's a beautiful, comfortable spot to spread out producers, actors, whatever business they have to be done, all kinds of cubby holes, workplaces, and everything else, all with a live feed to the stage with 100-inch TVs. But it goes beyond that. First of all, here's one of those working spaces. Beautiful couches, beautiful coffee tables. We have literally hundreds of thousands of dollars of the highest end furniture because we bought out the inventory of an extraordinarily high-end furniture business. So all these areas, all this stuff, all these knickknacks, all these what will become props can be used not only here by producers, actors, the rest of your staff, but it can all be used on stage. So when you film here, you don't need to worry about going to a prop house and getting high-end furniture, bringing in high-end furniture. It's here and tons of it, probably more than you'll ever need. Another cubby hole here, producers can have meetings, go through over here, and again, you'll see all kinds of what can be set decorations and lamps and artwork and knickknacks and pillows, cushions. Another work area here. Again, just keep an eye open for all these props that could make your sets major league. Because you're going to see we use virtual sets, but you can mix in as much real stuff as you want. So you mix in this stuff, you're going to have extraordinarily high-end sets. More meeting places here. People get together, talk things over, talk over the script. Big work table here, all with a big live feed to the stage so you can keep an eye on what's going on, absorb the production while you're out here sending your emails, having your conferences. It's just a fabulous setup. Now, I showed you a dining area out on our patio before we ever came into the building. Well, here's another dining area. You can see beautiful dining area, restaurant style tables. This is also our kitchen, and quite a kitchen it is. Beautiful appliances, ovens and so on. dishwasher, microwave, other cooking areas over here. Actually, if you're doing a cooking show or kitchen scene, we actually have attachments to this that turn it into burners. Big time fridge. I think I mentioned the microwave, but check this out. The best ice in show business. It's just Chick-fil-A style ice. So if you've had Chick-fil-A ice, you know just how good it is. Now you like this dining area, I sure do. Wait till I show you this next dining area that I'm so excited about. Now our beautiful sky deck might be my favorite part of ABQ Castle Studios. Great place to have a cup of coffee or a full lunch. You can see there's plenty of seating overlooking the beautiful Sandia Mountains, and it is spectacular. Now let's head downstairs to take a look at our talent areas and makeup room. Now you've already seen our beautiful motorhome that may well be used for talent. You put your big star out there and they're getting the full VIP treatment. But this little section here is for the rest of the talents, and I think you'll find we're beautifully set up. This is our makeup room, complete with ultra high-end quartz countertops. The director's chairs right here with our logos on it. 3 makeup stations. These are pretty cool in that they actually change color. So you can talk to the lighting director, find out makeup should be applied based on a certain level of lighting, and they can match it up perfectly. And a nice little spot to have a cup of coffee right in here. But now our talent dressing rooms. They are stunningly good looking, and we've got lots of them. So use this first one as an example. You'll see it's got a very cool vibe to it. Wonderful place for your talent to hang out. But the furniture in each dressing room has a bit of a theme. This furniture and the artwork and the other props and decorations, the lamps, they can all be moved out and used on stage at your discretion. We have 7 additional dressing rooms back here. And then finally, our 9th talent holding area is the big one. All right, you've seen our 8 talent areas consisting of 7 beautiful dressing rooms and a major league motorhome. But this is the big guy, our 9th talent holding area, and it is huge. Beautiful furniture, of course, just like everywhere else. And again, this furniture can be used on stage. Television, every channel conceivable, plus a live feed to the stage. Place to have lunch or a snack or whatever here. So I think by now you'll be convinced that we've got enough to accommodate a very, very large cast. But I know what you've been waiting for. We're gonna head over towards the stage here now, show you everything over there, show you the technology. We got some major league stuff. Let's head that way. All right, you'll find this interesting, I think. Now, I know you're getting a quick glimpse of the stage. Don't worry, we're going back and we're going to spend a lot more time on that. But I just have to show you this first. I've always been a fan of Major League Baseball, and I always loved the looks of the luxury sky boxes up above the field. Well, I never got one of those of my own, but I thought it would be so cool to have one in a studio. I've never seen one before, so decided to build this. So check this out, our luxury observation suite. All right, welcome to the observation suite. So you'll see, as always, beautiful furniture, live feed to the stage here, plenty of room for up to 10 people to meet and see the stage. So you can see what it looks like, what's actually being recorded, and then just turn, see the virtual set included. And I just love this, my luxury skybox. All right, here it comes. Let's head out onto the stage. All right, and now we're on the stage. A few notes about it, and by the way, we're gonna be showing you all the virtual worlds in a couple of minutes, but just a few nuts and bolts. First of all, the stage is gigantic. We're quite certain that it is the largest virtual production stage in the world. It's 6,000 square feet, every inch of it fully tracked for data, and it is big enough to do almost any scene that could possibly come to mind, because not only is the space gigantic, the sets continue on after the space, so you can have full cities in here. And if you're on a space station, people could be running down the hallways on and on and on. So I'll show you a few nuts and bolts that you will find interesting and that we're very proud of. First of all, you're looking at a telescoping crane. And a telescoping crane, if you are looking for big budget shots, this is how you get it. And here it is ready to go. And it's not just any telescoping crane, it is carbon fiber. And what that means is the crane is very stiff. It's not bending, leading to just more accurate and better shots. The carbon fiber makes it a very, very quiet crane. And that means that you can use it while you're recording dialogue. And any noise that you do hear is at a frequency that is very low and very, very easy to be filtered out. So when you record this, you're not going to hear that crane. It also has arc compensation, meaning that if you want to do a setting where that crane is just coming all across at the same distance with no arcing at all, you can do any kind of shot you want. So it is an extremely sophisticated and high-end crane, and just through the crane alone, you do the rest of the movie with these incredible sets. You are going to have a production that looks like a $100 million production, whether you spend that $100 million or not. We are in a full studio configuration. It's a 3-camera studio configuration with one of the cameras on this incredible telescoping crane, the other 2 on carbon fiber pedestals, which are also very cool. With one finger, you can have the camera going up, coming back down, all super smooth. The cameras. You have a choice of 3 models, and all 3 are elite. First, we offer 3 Arri Alexa 35s, in-house, set up, and ready to go. These are the gold standard of cinematography. If you want your production to look like an Academy Award-winning film, add a great DP and you'll achieve that look. In fact, in any year, add up the list of Academy Award-nominated films, Cannes, Sundance, and Toronto Festival films, and the top 10 Hollywood blockbusters, and you'll likely discover that more were shot on Arris than all the other camera brands combined. Or you may prefer our 3 Vericam 35s. Vericam 35s. Now, you may ask, why are we using the Vericam 35s? Well, first of all, we think they're spectacular cameras, and within our system, they're particularly good for a couple of reasons. First of all, they have the proper outputs and a number of technical things that make them work. But beyond that, they allow us to shoot in very low light, which then allows for beautiful shadows to be exposed. And especially in some of our closer shots, you'll see these shadows on the floor, these beautiful floors that don't even exist. And that's what we can do and almost nobody else can do. Part of that reason is because of the Vericam 35s. Some of the series and movies that use these precise cameras, Netflix series Ozark, that's been nominated numerous times for Best Cinematography. Netflix Orange is the New Black, Netflix Master of None, Netflix Arrested Development, AMC's Better Call Saul, shot right here in Albuquerque, HBO's The Deuce, and smash movies including Warner Brothers' beautiful movie Crazy Rich Asians, as well as a series we shoot. It's Peacock's Heart to Heart with Kevin Hart. So the fact is, these cameras are spectacular and they are here, ready to go, rigged in a 3-camera studio configuration so you can shoot single camera or 2 or 3 cameras simultaneously. For whatever reason, if you'd prefer to use another camera model, we also have the very hot Blackmagic 12K Cinema LF in-house. And finally, if you'd like even more camera choices, our friends at Panavision, located just a few minutes away, can get you any camera you need. We have a massive quantity of very high-end panel lights and other lights. These are all RGBW lights, meaning that we can adjust the colors for effect, to make people look beautiful or to match up the virtual sets. We have the world's biggest special effects fan. Now, the interesting thing is, a lot of productions can't film here because they're shooting scenes that are just not available in New Mexico, like a marina scene or a beach scene. Well, now with this technology, you can do it right here in New Mexico. And then we have all the audio gear you're likely to need. We have all the grip that you're likely to need. So you put it all together, you got a big time studio in its own right. Now though, when you add our technology, our incredible sets, Well, here we go. You may not believe what you're about to see. We're employing two technologies. We're employing the Unreal Engine, and we are employing the patented by us, you can only film it here, and that's Castle Vision. And if you need a set, a total replication of a set that's out in the real world, use Castle Vision and you cannot tell the difference. So let's now go into some virtual sets. Now we're going to start off in a high school basketball gym. And if you have any doubts, hey, does this really look real? Well, first of all, you can tell by looking at it, it does look real. Even reflections on the floor of things that don't even exist. This whole gym does not exist, but it is so realistic. We have another studio. This one is in Burbank, California, and this is the Truth. Just a couple of weeks ago, I was contacted by one of the Burbank high school basketball coaches, needless to say, an expert in basketball, asking if he could rent this set for some after-hours basketball practices for his team. So even the experts think they look real. And as I said, as you know, the place is gigantic, as I will demonstrate in a minute or two. Unlike the real world, in fact, this is better than filming in a real basketball court. When the camera tilts up, you're not seeing our studio grid that is there. You're seeing the ceiling of the gym. And that's an amazing thing. Or if it went back the other direction, you wouldn't be seeing the craft services table and the director. You'd be seeing the other end of the gym. And even in the real world, you can't do this. So that is staggering and can swing around to reveal some big time shots. But let me show you just how big this stage is. So let's say we're playing a basketball game right now. You could have a full court game. You could have this 5 players aside, whatever you want. There's plenty of room. So we start down here. I get the rebound. I come flying down the court, all the way down the other side. The court is huge. The crane is doing incredible shots. Come in, take the shot. I make it. Now I'm gonna come back, I'm gonna play some defense. And there's just room for a full game of basketball. And keep going down here and just look how huge this set is. And Brett, take it all the way back. And there's room for any size scene that you can dream of. So let's show some more sets. We'll go to the next one now. All right, check this set out. It's a space station and it's gigantic. This would be probably millions of dollars to build. And if you do want to set at this level, if you tried, unless you've got a gigantic production and tons of time, this is the way to do it. Your set's going to look better. Virtual is going to look more realistic than something that's a typical low budget, certainly, filmmaker would be building out of plywood and scrap metal or whatever. So your set is going to be better if you go virtual. You can also have some really little fine tweaks. In this case, we wanted to give paint chips, believe it or not, to the floors and some of the objects within the set, because this was supposed to look like a rundown space station that actually was used as a prison ship in the future. So your sets are going to be better with virtual. Here's something else interesting, and I want to make really, really clear. In the real world, when the camera moves in, the background goes out of focus. When it pulls back out, comes back into focus. That, of course, is called depth of field. Well, you'll notice we have true depth of field. The background goes out of focus as the camera moves in and reverses itself when it comes out. So it is just total reality. And speaking of total reality, I'm going to show you here now that I can walk behind virtual things that don't even exist. And you're going to find this is a really, really nice effect. Check this out. I'm walking behind a virtual fence or a railing that does not exist. Now, can you imagine? It really adds to the production values. Can you imagine having to build that wall or that gate? It would be a real pain. It would take time. It would be expensive. And I don't know, this just adds so much to the scene to be able to do it virtually. And it leads to some stunning shots that you couldn't do if that fence or railing actually did exist, like flying right through it, the way In Breaking Bad and Better Call Saul, they do all kinds of just cool shots that you wouldn't expect, like flying through things, going through Coke machines. Well, in the virtual world, it's downright easy, and viewers love it. Check this out. It's a game show set, specifically celebrity ping pong. Now, up until now, it was difficult to do a game show or a talk show in New Mexico and take advantage of that 30% film incentive. But now you can, and not only can you do them here, you'll get the biggest, most beautiful sets in show business. Now take a look at this one. Even the floors are beautiful. We're up high above the court, and we're going to be going down there in a second. But just look at these floors. If we were building these out for real, it would be just an incredible expense. And by the way, I should mention, in case you notice the booties I'm wearing, just to protect the floors during this demo video tour. Of course, when we shoot the real shows, the talent is not wearing booties. So big, beautiful sets. We're high above the court, and right now I'm going to head back down the stairs, and we're going to go downstairs to the set of Celebrity Ping Pong. You know, you can mix in as much real stuff into the sets as you'd like. As I've mentioned before, and that's one great thing about us having this incredible gallery of furniture and props and decorative items for your sets. But sometimes it's not practical to do that. Sometimes you don't want to use real stuff, and it's better off to use virtual. Well, check this out. Check out this chair in this set. Yes, we could put a real chair down here, and in this case, we probably would. But there are lots of times where you don't want to use real stuff, or you just can't do it. Let me give you a few examples. Let's say you're doing a kitchen scene, and it's a very high-end kitchen with a beautiful granite island in the center of it. Well, it's expensive and a lot of time and money to build that real high-end granite island. Well, here's what you do. You stack a few green boxes where the top is going to reach the top of that virtual counter, and nobody is going to guess that you didn't go to the trouble and expense of building that kitchen island. Or what if you're in a 1940s era train? Now, you tell me how you're going to find some 1940s train seats to work into your set. Chances are you're not going to be able to do it, or if you can do it, it's going to be very difficult. Well, just go the virtual route with the green box. In fact, in the train you're seeing now, my son Brooks and I are on those green boxes. Those seats are not real. Or how about a subway train? You tell me where to get a New York subway train seat to work into the set, and boy, I'd appreciate knowing. But actually, I don't care, because I can just use the green box, put it into the virtual subway seat. It's going to look better, it's going to match up more perfectly, and boy, it's going to save a lot of time and money. So keep that in mind as we move into a new set. Check this out. The biggest, baddest, most spectacular international airport in all of show business. And it's right here in Albuquerque at ABQ Castle Studios. And we have all areas of the airport. We have TSA, we have a baggage claim, we have a coffee shop within the airport, we have gates, we even have escalators and people movers. This is one of a kind, incredible airports. And let me tell you something, if you need an airport scene, and so many productions do, if you go to an actual airport and say, hey, would you mind shutting down while we filmed here for a while? You're gonna have a very, very difficult time. So use the airport, use all of our virtual sets and environments, and you'll be really glad that you did. It'll be easier and it'll look better. You know, if you dream up a location, no matter how specific or how obscure, you can do it right here. Let's say you need a location that is in the future, and let's say you want it on the outskirts of LA, out in the Mojave Desert. And let's say you want that to be a burger joint, again, 50 years in the future. You want bugs flying around the lights, you want a dystopian look. Well, if that's what you dream up, that's what you'll get. as you can see in this set. It is spectacular. It is exactly the way this particular client wanted it, and it is overlooking the city just as was needed. And we have not only the outside as where I am now. If we wanted to do scenes in the restaurant, at a booth, we can do it. We want to be on the deck, the patio, on the lower level, we can do it. Or if you want to have the action take place upstairs, up on the upper deck, you can do that too. It really is staggeringly good and will just allow for creativity at a level, well, any level that you want and anywhere that you want. As you can see, we can shoot 360 degrees here at ABQ Castle Studios. And that's a very interesting thing. It's actually better than the real world. In the real world, if you started shooting in the other direction, you'd be seeing the craft services table and the director, and you just couldn't do it. But here, when you can do 360 degree shooting, it leads to some incredible shots where you could show the other end of the city, the camera coming around, revealing the talent, revealing the action, and I am talking about very, very high production values. Again, better than the real world. How about this? The opulence of ancient Rome. Let's say you've got a period piece going on. In this case, the floors alone and the fountain or the pool alone would be big, big money. So you're getting huge production values before the cameras even roll, because keep in mind, none of this exists. We are outside in the courtyard now of the palace, and in fact, we have the whole palace. We have many different rooms, dungeons, and that's the great thing about shooting virtual. You don't have to restrict yourself just to a room or two, because as it is in this case, we've got a whole palace. How about this? Right from our stage, we have whole cities. Here's kind of a cool set. It's huge, it's slick looking. It's actually called a shiny floor set, and these sets are usually used for competition shows and anything else you just want to have a high-end glossy look. Also, you'll notice there is a news desk here. We do news scenes for major motion pictures, major television series, actual news programs. So if you have a news scene or a news show, or you're doing a commercial in a news format, or you're doing a music video where they want to somehow work the news into it, it's a great way to do things. But this is also a set we're going to show you. We can do special effects here, unlike probably any other place you've heard of where we can do them live. Here's something you can do here that I don't think you can do anywhere else. Live special effects that will save you months and months in post and probably save you $1 million. In this case, I'm on fire, and putting a person on fire with the camera moving and making it real, very, very difficult to do. Except we can do it here easily, and we can do it live. We haven't taken the time to dial it in, but even with this little shot that you're seeing now, could be incredible. I could be rolling it around on the floor and everything else in flames. Let me show you another one. Now this is just a skeleton, but it could just as easily be Godzilla, giant skunk ape, or any other monster you can think of. And again, this is all live, and as you can see, you can take, the actor does whatever he wants. Your virtual monsters or characters can be huge, any size you want them. Or you could do little tiny monsters or aliens or leprechauns. And again, these are just kind of stick figure skeletons we're showing off here, but your characters can actually be as complex and full as you want them to be. Again, all done live, saving you months and months of time and hundreds of thousands, if not millions of dollars. Here's a little taste of our patented technology. It's called Castle Vision. We're on the beach, as you can see, but there are no beaches, at least no ocean beaches in New Mexico. We have figured out and patented how to take video and shoot that video in a particular configuration and then put it onto our stage through our supercomputers and through our camera tracking, with the camera moving around just as it would be moving around in the real world. So if you can do a beach, you can do just about anything. And you can only do it here at ABQ Castle Studios. Well, we hope you enjoyed your video tour of ABQ Castle Studios. As I mentioned right at the beginning of the video, we're just an hour or so flight away, nonstop from Burbank or LAX, and we'd love to see you out here. We're very proud of what we built here. It's probably the most comfortable, in fact, luxurious studio in the world. It's quite definitely the most technologically advanced studio in the world, and it's the biggest studio in the virtual production world. We'd love to see you out here. Keep in mind, the state of New Mexico is going to pay you to film here a very significant amount of money. Come on out, we'll show you the place in person. We'd love to do some business, and thanks very much for viewing.